Beep beep, what is up ninjas? My name is Samworld and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get those fresh effects, funky, weird sounding Walker and Royce type of sounds that you hear in their music, which sounds like this. So as you heard in their track, guys, they have a lot of effects that really emphasize certain points. It works because you have that bass going, so this works a lot, but these effects can also work in other genres of music like psytrance and any other genre where you want to have a few effects that sound unique or that have this fresh vibe. And today I'm going to teach you guys how to manipulate a synthesizer, and we're going to be using Silent 1 for this tutorial so that you can, get saw, squares, white noise, and manipulate it in any way that you want to get those similar type of vibey sound. So join me guys today, and as always, if you want to support the channel, evilsounds.com is there for your sound design needs, guys. At the end of July, I'm gonna say we are gonna be releasing a Dirtybird Soundbank. It's done already, and a lot of the techniques you see in this video were used to create a lot of the sounds in that Soundbank, which is gonna have about 150 sounds, which is gonna be a lot, but it's a really fun Soundbank, really fresh. I've been really enjoying the music that Dirtybird has been putting out, and I'm becoming a dirty fan, if you want to say it that way. But without further ado, guys, let's get straight into this tutorial so that you guys can make your own sounds like that.
Alright guys, so welcome to Silent 1, and Silent 1 is a very popular synth. I'm using it for this tutorial as it keeps the choices down for you. And honestly, if you're making basic kind of sound design like this, where it's just about the programming that makes the sound very funky, very unique, I think Silent 1 is a great synth for that. I also like the way that it sounds a lot better than Serum. Now Serum's cool because you have access to a lot more, of course, but just keep in mind that the more options you have a lot of the times, the more choice paralysis you're gonna get. It's like going out to eat. You're gonna want to get anything. It makes it harder because there's so many good restaurants out there you can go to. But if you fine tune it down to, oh, we'll just get sushi, we'll get Mexican style sushi because there's that, then it fine tunes it even more down and makes your life a little bit easier when you're picking a place. Same thing here when you're picking waves and stuff like that. Serum has so many options, especially with user generated wavetails as well, that you can get a little bit lost in what to use. So keep it simple. Alright, so the first sound I'm going to teach you guys how to make is a very basic one that you hear a lot in Walker and Royce music and in Dirtybird and psytrance and music where there's a lot of effects used. And it utilizes a sine wave changing pitch in a very fast rate and a very slow rate to get that vibe. And I'm going to show you different variations that you can do, and in hopes that as you're watching this, you also learn how to use the mod envelope and the LFO. Now the first sound we're doing is going to be a pitch change to a sine. We're just going to apply a bit of decay, lower sustain down on it so that pretty much we hear the sound going pew, and it's going to change at a very fast rate. Decay decides how long it takes for that change to occur in this instance here. So if we move it to the right, we're going to high pitch back down to low. And you hear that more of that pew kind of vibe. It's like something's crashing down. Now decay is controlling that, so the black knob is how much we're going up. So these are just going to be little kind of laser hits you can think of that gives us those vibes. Now notice how when I hold it down, we still hear that original pitch we're at. So if you want to get rid of that, just lower sustain on your amp envelope, give it a bit of decay. And there we go, we got the sound we want. And we can get those nice, the lower octave we go and vice versa. Now if we lower the pitch more, we get more of those tom hits. And go lower octave on it, and it's a bass. Very simple. Now the cool thing about this is there are various different variations for it. I'm going to bring up the sustain now. One of them is obviously the uplifter sound, which we leave the sustain up. And with the attack, we're going to decide how long it takes for us to reach that pitch we add. So that's how we can create some uplifters or some. Those type of sounds, as you can see there. Now the cool thing here is we can also go down into negative, and that's going to give a sub drop. So it's cool to know just that. Now the funny thing about that is if you have a saw, that's how we get those kind of farting sounds. As you guys can see there. It's pretty fun once you know how to do it, once you know the trick to it. Okay, now the cool thing here is that let's say I want this to go up, and let's go back to our beautiful sine. We can also have as it's going up, we can also have it go, so it's going back and forth as it's going up in terms of pitch. So we can do that by adding another pitch here, giving it a bit there. So that's how we're going to get those sounds. Now the fun thing here is that you can apply that to almost anything. So now, and you get really little funny funky sounds, as you guys can see there. So as you guys saw, that one's a pretty easy one to do, pretty straightforward. The other sound we hear a lot are going to be these kind of wubs that are like wow or feow. You're going to hear those a lot in their new song with Chris Lake. So in order to create those, we just need to do some filter modulation. So we're pretty much going to lower the filter, and then we're going to open it up with a cutoff AB. And the attack's going to decide how long it takes for us to open it up. Now, if we lower the sustain, we can use decay, so it decides how long it takes for us to go back down to the original value. As you can see there. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now, from there, it's just going to be the design of the sound. You can put 8 voices of a saw and detune them to get that cool vibe. And then from there, you can add a pitch change as well if you want, where you just have that change happening to it. Okay, pretty straightforward. It's all about the creativity and what you have in your mind on how you want to do it. Now, this pitch change here, you can automate it yourself. If you want to do it, you know, that's perfectly fine as well. But if you want to do it in the synth, it's going to be totally up to you. It just depends on how you want to work with it. The cool thing here is that we can also apply that LFO again, which loops all the time, as you guys know, so that it gives us that kind of vibrato effect on it. And then remember, attacking controls that. So very straightforward there on this sound. Now, another cool sound that's going to require a little bit more of, you know, some cheeky programming is these sounds that stick around for a while and then the pitch kind of goes up on them. Now, again, you can automate that. But if you want to learn how to program it just so you feel more comfortable with mod envelopes, all we really have to do is apply a pitch AB change to it. Now, from here, we're going to move it to the right. And then we add a bit of release. And that's going to give us that change, because what's happening here is the pitch is going directly to what we're setting here because the sustain's up. And then the release, when we let go, works with this release. And it decides how long it takes for us to go back down to the value of 0. 0 change, back to the original. Let's put mono legato on it. Check it out. So we can do a melody. And then it does that little nice effect. So that's how we do that. We can even go negative. So, and then we can do the opposite of it. So cool, as you guys can see there. That's a super dope, a little effect. And then you just, you know, work on the sound that you're using. Let's say you have a square. And then you get those. And Walker and Royce love to use that snare. But as you guys can see, that gives us that little dope effect there. And then it kind of ends the melody and gives you that nice little effect. And then again, remember, you can also use a pitch on it to make it sound goofier. For instance. Okay. Super cool, as you guys can see there with this effect. And you can apply this to just anything, guys. You know, play around with it. Even like the resonation or a cutoff, you can do that. Distortion amount is also fun because you can apply like a decimate effect to it. And then, you know, do the opposite. Have it this high. And then you hear the sound distort as you let go. and you get those cool effects. It's all about the creativity in your mind once you know how to use the effects, guys. How to use the envelope and the LFO, as you guys can see here. Another cool effect that we can use as well is a little bit of a easy one, but it's more of a techno one, I'm not gonna lie. So what we want to have is just a very fast delay on the sound. So we're gonna use our delay here with the ping pong effect on for now, and we're just gonna do a very fast delay with a high feedback. Now give it a bit of decay here, lower sustain, so that's just a fat hit, and we get those sort of kind of shot. Add a pitch if you want to it. Get rid of ping pong, and that's how we get those nice. You can even add a low cut, high resonance, you know, and then from there it's just the options. You can even do a fast hit here. If you have this all the way up, you just get that sound. Now here with the low cut and the high cut, you can fine tune the sound. So let's say you want to get rid of some of the highs on that, or some of the low. It's all about how you decide and going about it, but this is a cool effect that you can add and mess around with the settings with more stereo, mono.
Close your eyes, dance with me.
Now the other sounds you can also learn how to make are the very funky, very goofy, very ice cream truckish, as you guys can tell. It sounds like an ice cream truck, as some people were saying. Sound. So you can utilize the sine, low decay, and then we can do the pitch trick on it, but we're going to do it at a very fast rate so that it gives us more punch. And we get those type of sounds. But you can also use a square to get that vibe, and then we can also use a low pass. Open it up with a filter, a mod envelope here, filter envelope, and then give it a bit of effect. But that's how we're gonna create these little funky plucks. We can even go with a half pulse, which will give us more funky, and then quarter pulse, which is thinner. So if that's what you guys want, that's what we get. As you saw, very basic, very straightforward, but it sounds so nice, especially when you use it in these type of tracks. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Walker and Royce video without their bass, but the previous video I made, guys, is all about 808 bass lines, so you might want to watch that one if you want to learn more how to make their style of bass. But pretty straightforward. They like to use a lot of Thumpy Basslines, and one of the more popular ones to use is the square wave. It's just so heavy when it comes to it. But the thing that they have with their basslines is they have a lot of dumps. So when we add a little fast pitch envelope like this, and then just, add decay here. Let's go with a square. We're going to apply a cutoff as well to that. Add a bit of release. It's all about the cutoff and how you're using. Mono legato it. So as you can see, even a sine wave. Pretty straightforward on that bass. So that's the Walker and Royce bass. They love to use it, and it's all about this program. I'm putting it up so you can hear it. Okay, so that's going to be more of the dumpy bass lines that they have. And honestly, every Walker and Royce song has it, and I hear it a lot in some of their other aliases as well. So it's a very hard sign is about it. Now the last sound I want to go through, guys, and I know I didn't go through all of their sounds, but this is one of the more popular ones that they tend to use, and this one is going to be a bass that usually it's like a damn. It's just a hit. Now it's very easy to program. It's going to be a square and a noise. Now the noise is going to give it some nice dirt, as you're going to see right now. And usually what they like to do is they'll use a low pass with a high resonance. So that gives it that nasty vibe, very dirty, and then a bit of distortion if you want. And you can go from there. Now the more advanced version we can do is part A can be our bass and part B will be our white noise. So first we design the bass. Let's say we go with that. Now in part B, I can apply white noise. And I'm going to lower volume. And then from there, bandpass the white noise. And we can control the white noise where we want it in terms of the frequency with the bandpass. Because remember, the bandpass is focusing in on one frequency only. We can even use a bandpass on this guy. Lower the white noise a bit. As you can see, it's very loud. The bandpass gives some good vibes. Now, the cool thing here is a lot of their bass will also be white. And if you want that, you want to have whiteness, you can just get rid of the retrig here and then put two voices. And now you have your white bass. Now, keep in mind, you can also have the tune basses, and have them be mono. And do a lot of cool tricks like we do have that stereo knob which works when the retrigger, as you can see there. Alright guys, and those are going to be all the sounds I wanted to teach you guys from Walker and Royce.
Alright guys, and that is going to be the end of the tutorial. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully now you have a little bit more confidence to make these type of sounds. At the end of the day guys, it's all about having fun, and that's what I like about this genre of music. So like I stated, at the end of July we're releasing the Dirtybird Soundbank guys, which is going to be for Silent 1. So be on the lookout for it guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a brand new video on more Dirtybird style music. You guys take care. My name is Sunworld, and peace out.
Them freaks come out.